Welcome to the Yoga Method. My name is Kathy Clark, and it is my honor to take you through your Power Yoga flow today with the focus of finding balance. As soon as you're ready, please come and join me at the right end of your mat or the top of your mat if you're facing me. And as soon as you arrive there, just bringing your big toes together, gripping with the toes as you feel the four corners of your feet, lifting through the arches of the feet, engaging the legs, a little tuck of the tail, a little lift of the pelvic floor as we draw the navel towards the spine gently to engage our stabilizers to bring support to our lumbar spine and our pelvis. This is the foundation that we move and breathe upon. So please, finding your posture, finding the length of the spine, and now begin to connect with the rhythm of you, the rhythm of your breath, cultivating that audible oceanic sound if that is part of your practice. And as we pause at the top of our mats, setting an intention for your practice, and I thought we might use the quote by Rumi. Life is a balance of holding on and letting go. Life is a balance of holding on and letting go. And our yoga practice absolutely is the perfect template, the perfect laboratory to call this awareness of how essential it is to be able to hold on at times and to also be able to surrender. Charging your intention, charging our quote with the sound of Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. Releasing your hands, opening your eyes, and let's circle and sweep our hands high on our in-breath. On our exhalation, bending our knees as much as we need to move into this first forward fold. Let's take a moment here to really cultivate some internal awareness of the pelvic floor and the lower abdominals. And at the same time, let's give our bodies time to open through the back body, through our hamstrings and through our spines. Please take your left foot and cross it behind your right for a moment and notice how that brings a little bit more sensation to the outer sweep of your left hip. To deepen that sensation, could you walk your hands to the right side of your mat? And if the floor is just a little bit too far away, I invite you to bring your hands to your thigh, to your shins. Take 2 more breaths, really opening through left side body, through the ribs, through the hip, down the outer sweep of the thigh before returning to the midline, please. Plant your hands, lift your heads as you take a breath in. On the exhalation, release that foot, and then let's just come to second side. So a moment first to really feel the 4 corners of the feet, the engagement of the core, and on your exhalation, deepen and soften and let go into this forward fold modification. If it feels good, and only if it feels right for your body, walking your hands to the left side, feeling that sensation, letting up through the right side of the torso, and the outer sweep of your right hip, right hamstring. Taking one more full, deep, smooth, nourishing breath in. And our exhalation returns us back to the midline, please. On your next inhalation, lift your heads, lift your hearts, and then please release your foot, release your head, and take a moment again to just completely surrender into a forward fold shape. Bend your knees so much that you feel your lower back release, and then take a moment to really articulate the spine one vertebrae at a time. As you rise to standing, let your hands come high. And on your exhalation, immediately diving back in with that new find length in your spine and your legs. We inhale, hands to shins or fingertips to floor, flat back extension before stepping or hopping and lowering on our knees or toes, belly strong, shoulders looped up and back. Let's lower all the way to the earth, please. Take a moment to take your hands wide. You'll be on the floor. And then tuck your toes, energize your knees. and coming into just a cactus shape with your arms for a moment. So charge your legs, charge your back body, lift the heart, taking 2 more breaths in, just awakening the posterior chain of the body. Before we release the hands, flatten the toes, but keep your legs powerful before peeling your way up into a baby cobra or an upward facing dog before we make our way into our first downward facing dog. Hand shoulder distance, feet hip distance, fingers spread, toes spread, engagement of the core, pelvic floor, and inviting gentle, mindful movement into the body in any way that honors how your body is feeling today. So once again, where do I need to bring strength? Or we could say, where do I need to hold on? And where could I cultivate a sense of letting go? A deeper sense of relaxation, even in the midst of movement. Finding your stillness, and let's take one full deep breath in together. On your inhalation, please lift through your right leg as high as it feels good to your body. And on your exhalation, bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Pause as you shift the weight forward. Energize and lift through your right leg again. Bringing your right knee towards your chest, towards your knees as you shift your weight forward and pause. Inhale, third time's always the lucky one, before releasing the foot back to your down dog. Repeating that pattern on the other side, take a moment to really square the shoulders, stamping down through the hands, taking as much lift and length as your body allows. And on your next inhalation, lift to the tips of the toes, shifting forward, left knee, left elbow. Pausing. Inhale, find that lightness, find the lift through the left leg before gently drawing knee to chest. Use your abdominals to draw you in. Inhaling one last time into your 3-legged downward facing dog before releasing the foot to the floor. We'll take an inhale together. That brings us to the tips of our toes. On our out breath, we bend our knees to prepare, looking to where we're going before stepping or hopping to lift and lengthen. Exhale, let it all go. Rising and reaching to your extended mountain, touching the ceiling, touching the sky, looking to your thumbs. Releasing your hands home to the sacred space of your hearts. Samastitihi. So building our flow, we inhale high. On our exhalation, over we go into our forward fold, releasing our head and shoulders last, looking to our knees. On the in-breath, we find maximal length in the body with strength before stepping or hopping. And we're going to lower all the way down to our tummies. Once you've arrived there safely, the second set, bring your big toes together for just a moment. And then I'd like you to bring your heels together instead so you feel a little bit more activation in back body, glutes in particular. Use your hands to lift the heart, squeeze the elbows in, and just see if you can energize the heels and press them towards the ceiling so you feel activation through your glutes and through your hamstrings, please. Taking one more full, deep breath in. And on your exhalation, release. Keep the legs energetic. On the in-breath, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Before we release ourselves up and back, downward facing dog. On the in-breath, our right leg is rising. Pelvis is open as you wish. And on your exhalation, right knee towards your right elbow, but please step to the outside of your right hand. Right hand to right thigh as we spin the chest towards the thigh and really maximize the energy and the length in our left leg. So strength into whatever is on the earth, creating rotation and finding the breath as we bring that balance, that sense of balance, between effort and ease, holding on and letting go. Take one more full deep breath in. On the out breath, spot your landing. Bring your right hand to the inside. And on the inhalation, return to your 3-legged dog. Rising, knee to nose, knee to chest. Stepping between your hands. And once you're there, pivot your back foot. Take your right hand to your right thigh for a helping hand before windmilling your way into Virabhadrasana 2. Checking hip and knee alignment knee over ankle. And we co-contract the muscles, meaning quadriceps are working with hamstrings, core is working with glutes. And by co-contracting all of these synergistic muscles, we are bringing balance to our joints. Take one more deep breath in. And on your exhalation, please reach beyond the front knee, land your elbow, and take your left arm just so it comes towards your bicep. That would be your ear, your bicep towards your ear. Rolling the heart open. Where do I need to bring more strength? Where can I balance that with some softness? Taking one more breath here, and I'm going to ask you just to test the waters. Variation 1, we stay grounded. Variation 2, if you feel it might be possible, please reach that bottom arm away, rolling the ribs open, deepening into the front knee, finding length and strength. One more full deep breath in and out. We'll balance this posture by coming into a sun warrior. Before we windmill our arms, frame our foot, and pause right here, please. On your in-breath, cross your left foot behind your right, just as we did in our warm-up. Take one exhalation to forward fold, inviting more length into back body. And then please lift your head, lift your heart, and come into a supported warrior 3. Bend your knee, and this is our first standing balance. We're going to attempt to navigate our way to standing. Remember, the wobbles are part of training our balance. Nothing about balance is static. Everything is dynamic, as is our lives. One more full deep breath here with the knee at 90 degrees or the toe resting on the floor if you're not feeling safe in this position. And then please release the foot, release your hands. Inhaling, hands overhead. On your out-breath, over we go into that forward fold, releasing our head and shoulders. On the in-breath, we're going to lengthen, lift, look forward before stepping or hopping, transferring to the floor, onto our abdominals. On the out-breath, please. Once again, heels together. Press the feet towards the ceiling. And this round, let's lift the hands if the body will allow. So a lift of the heart, a lift of the elbows, a lift of the feet. So balancing strength through front body and back body. And even in the shape, where can I soften? And can I soften into my strength somehow? Balancing front body, back body, balancing strength and softness. When the time is right for you, release the legs, release the hands. Keep the body energized. And on your in-breath, peel your way up and back to your downward facing dog. Ready with your left leg. Let it rise on your in-breath. On the exhalation, moving that knee towards your elbow, but then landing the foot to the outside of the hand, please. Wiggle the back way, a leg away to create maximal length, and then really charging the body to find strength and stability. And then once you find that, where could you balance that off with some softness? Where could you let go within this posture? And always the avenue to letting go of finding balance is our breath. Take 2 more. At any time, you're welcome to release the back knee. 1 more full breath in before we spot our landing, grounding our left hand, moving to our 3-legged down dog on the in-breath, and on the exhalation, knee to nose, knee to chest, before grounding the foot. Please forgive me for turning my back on you. You're taking your left hand to your left thigh, giving yourself a helping hand as we arrive in Warrior 2. So always doing that little fine-tuning of hip and knee alignment, knee over ankle, checking that you can see your big toe on the inside of the foot, and then energize the entire body, and then find softness somewhere, softening into our strength, balancing our effort and ease before we reach beyond the front knee. Take the elbow and send the right arm to the ear, please. Spinning the pinky finger down, checking the depth of our posture. And then once again, maybe we need to continue to support ourselves here. Or is it possible to take your left arm long and then deliberately spin yourself so you're rotating heart towards the ceiling as you lengthen the underside of the body for one more breath. Rising on the in-breath to a sun warrior. Support yourself with your right hand. Before windmilling the arms, framing the foot, remember we're crossing right foot behind left as we lift and lengthen with the in-breath. And we are surrendering on the out-breath, please. On your next inhale, we lift and lengthen, and we move into a supported warrior 3. Hearts lifted, and then add a little bend into the knee. And however you navigate your way to standing, touching the floor a million times, or maybe just one sweep, coming tall. The right toes can stay on the earth if you've got the wobbles. I do. And then wherever you are, celebrating our efforts as we stay courageously for 2 more breaths. One more deep breath in before releasing the foot, hands, and the effort, please. Last time through our flow, energize and open. On the out breath, over we go, releasing head and shoulders completely. Shining the light of the heart forward before stepping or hopping. How slow and controlled can you go all the way to the floor, please? Bring the heels together. And then in these last 2 rounds, we're going to just see if we could maybe access our ankles. You could absolutely do 1 at a time. So on this side, if you're going to do 1, I'd love for you to hold on to your left ankle. So now the big toes are touching, the heels are separated, and this is where we can stay, one leg or both. Or if we feel like we could strengthen through back body by kicking feet into hands. So we're opening through the front of the heart as we're constricting and strengthening slightly through back body. On the in-breath, we kick and lift. And on the exhalation, we stay. Balance is not something we find. It's something that we strive to create in our yoga practice, in our lives. Never perfectly, just as best as we can. One more breath before we release the feet, release the hands. Keep your legs really powerful, your belly strong as you peel your way up and back into your up dog before returning to downward facing dog. Right leg is rising, lift it as little or as much as you wish before bringing right knee towards your elbow, pausing, landing the foot to the pinky toe side. Taking right hand to right thigh, spinning the chest towards it. Variation 1, knee could be grounded. Variation 2, stay statically here. And variation 3, we're working just a little, I think it's fun, I hope it's fun, a little transition of picking up through your left leg. See if you can slide it through and then returning it to the back of the mat. I'm sure you enjoyed that so much you want to do it 2 more times. You got it. So strengthening definitely core and inner range hip flexor quadriceps with this funny little move. And that was your last one. So please everyone land your hand before sending your right leg high on your in-breath. On the out-breath, knee to nose, knee to chest, stepping between your hands, pivoting your back foot. But listen, we're going to start with Trikonasana. So lengthen through your right leg, land your right hand on your thigh, your shin, your ankle, before rolling the heart open, stacking the wrist over the heart. So grip with your feet, energize your legs, and then we soften through the underside of the body. So we create a powerful foundation to stretch upon, and then we invite softness into our faces, the shoulders, and the underside of the torso for one more breath. On your out breath, look at your big toe, bend deeply into your right knee, slide that elbow up, and return that arm to your ear, please. Pinky finger spins, option to stay, option to extend that underside of the arm again, roll towards me, Electrify your fingers. Feel them come alive for one more deep breath. And on your inhalation, taking your sun warrior, balancing, counterbalancing, before windmilling the arms, pausing. Listen, it's your left foot behind your right as you lift your heads and hearts. On your exhalation, fold, place. On the in-breath, lift again and begin to send your left leg high into your supported warrior 3, bending the knee, and remember, touch the floor as many times as you need to as we transition to standing, pausing with your toes on the floor or knee elevated, and then cross that foot above your right knee, taking a seat into a modified figure 4. So with this shape, you could absolutely just pop the foot on the floor. It's still the same shape. Variation 2, the foot is resting on the thigh. Variation 3, you'll see if you could reach your fingertips to the floor, or maybe even your palms to the floor. And an opportunity for an arm balance, but only if you feel safe, only if that's part of your practice. So to transition into the arm balance, we bend really deeply into our elbows. We begin to shift onto the balls of our toe. And then we just test the water. So you've got to hook your right foot, that would be your left foot into your right tricep. And then just begin to shift weight forward, testing the waters to seeing if this might be possible for you today. Staying and breathing for 2 more breaths. 1 more, please, before gently releasing whatever option you took. And see if you can navigate your way back to standing as smoothly as you went in, retracing your steps as you take your knee towards your chest, your hands overhead, releasing your efforts and stepping back to the top of the mat if you move to the middle like me. Last time through, inhale. How long can you make your body? On the exhalation, how much relaxation can you create? And then we rebound to lift, to lengthen, to energize before stepping or hopping, transitioning slow, smooth, and controlled all the way to the floor. Bend your knees, knees wide, big toes together. If you did one leg the first side, you'll be grabbing onto your right ankle, please. Variation 2, big toes together, knees wide. We can stay grounded. And variation 3, we're testing this feeling of really kicking and lifting. So we're using our legs to create the lift. And on the in-breath, we just kick a little bit more, we lift a little bit more. On the exhalation, we try and soften a little bit somewhere. 2 more breaths. On the in-breath, we kick and lift. On the exhalation, we soften into our strength. 1 more time, kicking, lifting, before we release the hands, release the feet. Hands just beneath your shoulders. Legs are powerful, core is on strong. On the in-breath, we peel our way open. And on that exhalation, we ease our way back into our down dog. It's your left leg that's rising a little or a lot before bringing left knee to left elbow, pausing and stepping the foot to the outside of the hand. Variation 1, knee is on the ground with left hand to left thigh. Variation 2, charging your back leg as you open the underside of your body. And that variation 3 option, you're shifting your weight forward, sliding your right foot through. I think we call this shooting the duck in figure skating, a weird term. Pausing. If it felt okay, even if it just felt really awkward, maybe 2 more. Anything new, our brain takes a moment, our body takes a moment to think, why would I want to do that? And then there's that moment of, I think I'd like to try and do that. So pausing once you've completed your 3rd before releasing the hand and returning to your 3-legged downward facing dog. Knee to nose, knee to chest, stepping between. Remember, we're moving into Trikonasana first. So lengthen, land the hand on the thigh, the shin, the foot, before we energize the legs by gripping with the feet, engaging the muscles in the thigh, Making sure there's a micro bend in your front knee, which will be your left. And then soften through the underside of your body as you allow the breath to penetrate the tissue, bringing strength and length, bringing lightness and buoyancy. One more full, deep breath in before bending the knee, gazing at your big toe. Slide the elbow to your thigh and bring your right arm towards your, try that again, bicep to your ear, please. Spin the finger, descend into the pelvis. Stay exactly as you are, or sending that bottom arm away. Rolling open, lengthening at the same time. Breathing right into the tips of the fingers for one more deep breath in and out. On the in breath, a Sun Warrior celebration as we take the spine into the opposite shape, balancing it. Before we windmill the arms, frame the foot, and we're crossing left foot behind, right foot behind your left. Inhale, lift your heads and hearts. Exhaling to bow for breath. And then press the earth away, lifting heads and hearts again before lifting through your right leg, please. Supported Warrior 3. Before you bend your knee and begin to navigate your way into standing. It doesn't need to be smooth. You can touch the floor as many times as you need, or you can always leave that foot on the floor the entire time. Once you've arrived safely, option just to cross your toe over or to slide the foot above the knee. So we're resting the shin on the shelf of the thigh as we begin to bend deeply into our standing leg. Maybe the fingertips can find the floor and you're deliberately hooking your toes into your tricep. This is perfect. Nothing more is required. If there's a little bit more space in the hip, you could bend more deeply into your left leg, flattening the palms. And then only if an arm balance feels like a wise idea or is part of your normal practice, you're shifting the weight and you're really feeling the dynamic nature of balance here. We can leave the foot on the floor with our eye gaze beyond our fingertips, or we can just begin to test the water, seeing if it's possible to lift that left leg. Staying for 2 more breaths wherever you are. One more full, deep goodbye breath in before we release our efforts, but we want to cautiously, carefully retrace our steps, coming into the shape as meticulously as we went into it. Hands overhead, knee lifting towards the chest before releasing the foot, the hands, and the effort, please. Let's come to the floor just by taking the arms out front, lifting to the tips of your toes, please, working our balance again. There is nothing static about us, our lives, our yoga practice, or the act of balancing itself. So begin to bend your knees. Go how low your knees and your hips and your ankles will allow. And then when you are ready, land your hands and transition onto your bottom, please. So legs coming out in front, starting with Paschimottanasana, send the hands high, bend the knees as much as you need, and then ease your way forward with your heart lifted, your spine long, and the breath flowing in and out smoothly and deeply. We can lengthen the legs more, we could wrap the hands around, but we're always cultivating a lifted heart, relaxed shoulders, strong connection to our core muscles, and then this smooth, deep, audible breath. One more full, deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, lift and lengthen through the heart before releasing our hands behind us. I'd like you to cross your right foot over your left ankle And then with your hands, just flip them this way. So as you reach forward, you'll reach for the pinky toe side of your feet, whether or not the knees are bent or straight. Back of the hands together. Take a hold of the pinky toe side, and then just separate the feet as we endeavor again to find lightness in our hearts, groundedness through the pelvis, through the legs, and balancing our effort with our ease. 2 more full deep breaths in. 1 more full deep breath in and out. On our inhalation, please lift heads, hearts. As we ease our way back, I'd like for you just to slide your right foot above your left knee. Please energize your left foot, energize through your heart space. And if you're feeling this in your right hip already, you're doing it perfectly and you do not need to go any further. So variation 1, we're exaggerating front body opening. Variation 2, holding onto your knee, holding onto your foot. Gently draw yourself in a little bit deeper without a change in your posture. And then variation 3, you could reach for your shin or for your foot. If you're binding, it is your right hand across the sole of the foot with your right index finger and thumb holding onto your left wrist. The spine is long, the core is strong, and we are softening through our neck, through our shoulders, creating a peaceful, calm center at the same time that we are cultivating strength and length in our bodies. Last 2. 1 more full, deep, good breath in and out. On your inhalation, I'd like for you to lift your heads and hearts. And as we release out of the shape, take your hands way back and bring your feet quite wide, please. Variation 1, spin the fingers out, press into the hands, press into the heels, and lift through the heart space. Variation 2, on the in-breath, we lift, and on the exhalation, we lower. Variation 3, see if it's possible to do just one hand, and then gently lower. So on the in-breath, right hand high. On the exhalation, lower. So choosing any option, listening to your own body. Exhale, there's 1 more of these. So inhale to power up through feet, hamstring, and glutes before gently controlling the descent here. Releasing your effort, and as soon as you've arrived safely, crossing left foot over right, back of the hands together as we reach for the pinky toe side of our feet. Please press the feet wide, keep the spine long, and then keep cultivating softness through the rib cage, openness through the back body, and breath that continues to penetrate the hamstrings, the back of the pelvis, and your lower back, please. Where are you holding on? Where could you let go more? So these qualities of being strong and surrendering at the same time. 1 more full, deep breath in and out. We'll inhale to find lightness through the heart. And as we exhale, hands behind us, sliding left foot above the right knee, please. Variation 1, energizing through the legs as you press into the hands and lengthen through the spine. If you're feeling this, it's perfect. Please just stay there. Variation 2, if you feel like you need more sensation, we'll bring the hands to the foot and the knee, but not at the expense of your posture. So can you maintain that long lifted position? And then as we shift forward again, we're maintaining that rather than slumping. So we're shifting ribs forward, keeping the heart lifted, and then only reaching further if the body is asking for more. If you're binding, it is your left hand across the sole of your foot with your left index finger and thumb holding onto your right wrist. Steady your eyes on your big toe and keep feeling the contrasting energy between your in-breath and your out-breath. The balance between the buoyancy, the levity, and the counterbalance of being grounded. One more full deep breath, please. And when the time is right for you, the in-breath, we lift our heads and hearts. On our exhalation, we're coming out of that with our hands reaching behind us and our feet coming lovely and wide. Press into the four corners of your hands. Press into the four corners of your feet. Find the lift and the length through your spine. This is option 1. Variation 2, it's an inhale to float through the pelvis into a tabletop, reverse tabletop, and an exhale to lightly land. And variation 3, maybe it's possible to take your left hand high on the in-breath and press just with your feet and your right hand, please. Tune into what your shoulders are saying and honor what your body is telling you, please. Last 2. Inhale to reach, to lift, to lengthen. Exhaling to gently descend. One last time. What are we reaching for? Before we gently release the effort down to the floor, please. Once you've arrived here safely, taking the legs out long one last time before bending the knees and taking a hold, preparing for Navasana. So boat pose. Option 1, always the possibility of keeping hands resting here. Variation 2 today, I'd like you to start with your right ankle crossed over your left and your hands halfway between your feet and your hips, please. So just working with the energy of Lolasana. So on your inhalation, whether you're here or ankles crossed, we lift. On the exhalation, ground your feet and see if you can lift your hips. Inhale to float the feet, shins parallel. Exhale, ground your feet, lift your hips, pause. Inhale, we'll do 3 more. Exhale. So definitely feeling the contrasting energy between a little reprieve on the in-breath and then really digging in, being gritty on the out-breath. How many more? I think there's 2 more. Inhale up. I'm sorry if I've miscounted. Exhale, ground the toes. Lift the hips, lift the chin. Gently release. One more time. Inhale, shins parallel, heart open. Exhale, ground the feet, lift the hips, lift the heart, and gently relax out. Feet coming wide. One last time. This is a little brain training for us. We'll see how we go. So we're going to reach high with our right hand, ground into our left. On your in-breath, see if you can lift or not. You might just hold statically. And then as we descend, put the right hand down and see if you can reach for your right foot. I'll do that again. So ground with the left, reach with the right on the in-breath. Exhale to come down, re-ground your right, and then reach across with the other hand. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling up. Exhale, land and reach across the line of the body. One more time. Inhale, right hand high. Exhale, pelvis comes low. Reach across with your left hand for your right foot. And release. Second set of Navasana. Option 1, we're just floating feet and then relaxing them down with the hands either behind us or just halfway. Variation 2, you're going to cross your left foot over your right and then everyone lifts on the in-breath, knees towards the shoulders. On the exhalation, toes down, lift the hips. For these last 3, after we do this one, is it possible, maybe, to lift both the hips and the feet, or just visualize that happening? So maybe toes are down, hips are up, or maybe we lift both and then 2 more. So any option that your body will allow. One more time. Toes down, hips up. Maybe the feet lift just for a moment before releasing the effort. Feet wide. Right hand down, left hand high. Time to train the brain. Inhale to reach high with the left. As you ground down, left hand finds the earth, right hand finds your other foot. Release. Inhale, reach high with the left. Grounding down on the exhalation, left hand down. Reach for your left foot. Last three. Grounding fiercely into the feet. And then as we descend, using the core, using the quad, using the hip flexor to lift and release. Last two. Inhale, elevation. Exhale to descend and reach, touch. One more time. Expansion through front body. Gently release down before coming across for your last little release. Thank you so much. Releasing ourselves all the way down to the mat, please. And let's take a moment to hug our knees towards our chest. Definitely a celebration of how we are cultivating balance internally, externally, on our yoga mats, and in our lives. Balancing our effort and our ease, learning when to hold on and when to let go. Taking one more gentle rock from side to side, please. I'll invite you to release your feet, coming into your bridging shape, please. So with your hands just resting by your feet, take a moment to make sure with your peace fingers that your feet are equal by touching your heels. And then reground your hands, energize pelvic floor and core before tucking the tailbone so that we feel the hamstrings and our glutes come alive. Please walk your hands underneath you. Take your shoulders with you. So deliberately walk your shoulder blades in. And then I'd like for you to cross your left foot over your right knee. On your in-breath, lift a millimeter higher. On the exhalation, descend till you touch your hands. And then inhale to lift again. Exhale, lower, take a little reprieve. Inhale to really press and strengthen. Last three. So a little tiny descent, a reprieve, and then really energizing and maximizing. Last two, the exhalation, lower halfway. Inhale, pause and hold. Gently release for this last one, still maintaining connection to the muscle. Before we lift one last time, send your left leg high for a moment, stamping down into the four corners of your right foot. One more full deep breath in before you release your hands, and just see if you can roll your way down with that leg still as it is. Once you've landed safely, send your right leg long and take a gentle hamstring stretch through your left leg. So we energize the leg, so we're strengthening at the same time we're stretching. And by engaging the quadriceps, that inhibits our hamstrings and allows us to go a little tiny bit deeper. So again, this idea of balance in the body, if I engage my quadriceps, the front of my thigh, that forces my hamstrings to relax more. So this concept of reciprocal inhibition, a way that we can calm the muscle group that we're trying to stretch by strengthening the muscles on the opposing side. Wherever you are, just make sure this feels really beautiful to your body. Taking one more full breath in before gently releasing both knees back to the chest. Taking a moment to hug yourselves tightly and rock yourselves gently before returning to your bridging shape again. Peace fingers touch the heels, and then we stamp into the four corners of the feet, lifting the arches of the feet. We feel our hamstrings working with our glutes, and we feel our pelvic floor working with our core. We'll interlace our fingers, we'll walk our shoulder blades in, and now we're feeling our shoulder stabilizers working. Once you've arrived there safely, please cross your right foot over your left knee. Feel the strength through the left leg as you take a breath in and lift through the pelvis. On your exhalation, just melt down until you feel your hands underneath you. Power upwards on the in-breath. On the exhalation, control the descent. Inhale, feel your strength. Exhale, soften just a little bit. Here comes the effort, powering to the top. Here comes the ease as we release ourselves down. Last two, how strong can you make the underside of your body? And then just gently let it soften. And on this last one, we pause and hold, bringing right knee to chest before sending the right leg high for 2 more breaths. 4 corners of the left foot, left hamstring, left glutes, working with the core. 1 more breath before you release your hands and peel your way down slowly, smoothly, please. Hands holding your hamstring, your calf, keeping your left leg bent or sending your left leg long. Back of the body is so soft, so relaxed, but we have energy through our core and we have energy through our quadriceps and our hip flexors. And by doing that, the more I engage the front of my thigh, the more I inhibit my hamstring. So by engaging quadriceps, hip flexors, this concept of reciprocal inhibition tells our hamstrings, relax, let go, surrender. Please stay with this beautiful stretch, opening the front of your left hip, opening the back of your right leg, softening through your head, your neck, your spines. For 1 more full deep breath in and out. We'll draw the knees to the chest. And I'd like you to come just to happy baby pose, please. This will be our inversion today. So stacking knees over ankles, holding onto your hamstrings, your calves, or your feet. And then once again, there's contrasting energy. There's balance in this posture by pushing the feet into the hands and pulling down gently with the arms. So contrasting energy between the feet and the hands. And now, how much softness can you find in the back of your body, through your head, through your neck, through your shoulders, through your spine, through your tailbones? Back of the body completely releasing as we stay with our stillness for 2 more breaths. Where am I holding on? Where do I need to keep holding on? But where is there an opportunity to release and relax more? Balancing our effort and our ease. Balancing our ability to be strong and to soften. 1 more breath before bringing the soles of the feet together, big toes touching, soles of the feet touching. Wrap your hands underneath if that's possible for you. So the hands are pulling the feet a little bit closer towards the face. The elbows are pressing the knees a little wider. Tailbone is relaxed, back body is relaxed, but now we energize the front body by tucking the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders. Maybe someday our feet will touch our forehead. Maybe someday our feet will go behind our heads. Maybe not. It just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is, does this feel good to my body? Where can I release and relax more as I cultivate strength in my arms and my core? Just 1 more deep breath before gently, completely releasing the effort. Feet to the floor, arms in that cactus shape, please. I'd love for you to cross your left over your right. Shift your pelvis to the left and allow your knees to gently travel to the right. In this shape, please take your right hand to rest on your left thigh and turning your eye gaze to your left. If this shoulder's not happy, maybe reach the arm long instead. But I invite you to close your eyes And just really become completely absorbed in this one breath and this one moment and this one posture. Last 2 breaths. One more, please. Our eyes return, our knees return by using the strength of our core and our arms. We'll center the pelvis, uncross, recross, shifting pelvis slightly to your right, and then the knees will gently travel to your left. Left hand resting on left thigh, only if that feels good to your body. And then readjust your right shoulder so it feels wonderful to you. Turn your eye gaze to look to your right. And in this moment, could you really just let go of the effort and really become completely absorbed with the ebb and the flow of your breath? The ebb and the flow of you. Just 2 more breaths. And when the moment is right for you, when you and your body decide you're ready, you'll return your eyes. You'll gently use your core to come home safely. I'd like for you to center your pelvis, hug your knees one last time to really deload your spine, taking that moment to rock the body gently. And if there is anything else that your body is craving, that your body is asking you for, you'll take it now. And then the moment you're ready, we'll all settle into our Shavasana, claiming a little bit of space with our feet, claiming a little bit of space with our arms. And entirely up to you. The palms could be turned upwards in a gesture of receptivity. But if you're feeling like you just need a little bit more grounding, I invite you to flip your hands so your palms are grounded. And I want you to feel where you are supported and upheld by the floor, by your yoga mat, by Mother Earth. So feel the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, your shoulder blades. Feel where your pelvis is supported, the back of your thighs, your calves, your heels. And then return your awareness to your sternum. Run your awareness across your collarbones to the head of your shoulders. And now run the awareness down the underside of your arms. And just feel once again where you are supported. And as we feel the support beneath us, knowing that it is safe for us to completely surrender. The more that we let go, the more we feel we are supported. Softening, surrendering, releasing, relaxing. I invite you to scan your body Just once again, from the crown of the head to the tips of your fingers, to the tips of your toes. Is there any lingering tension or stress? And could you use your mind and your breath to let go just a little bit more, feeling the balance in the body and the alignment of our mind, our bodies, and our spirits. I invite you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you can. But if you, like me, need to return to your day, we will begin to reignite our inner fire, lifting our vibration and our energy by breathing more fully and deeply, bringing gentle, mindful, balanced movement to our bodies through our fingers, our toes, our hands, our feet, our shoulders, our necks. And then please, when you're ready, bend your knees one at a time, gathering the knees to our heart space. Hug ourselves tightly, rock our bodies gently, and then rolling lightly towards me. We'll linger for a moment with our eyes closed on our sides, taking one more balance-infused breath before rising to our seated position, please. Finding any position that feels best to your body, inviting length into our spine, and balancing once again this feeling of being grounded and uplifted as we bring our hands to Anjali Mudra. If you set an intention other than finding balance, please reconnect with it again. And as we close our practice, knowing that we can return to this feeling of balanced, calm, strong tranquility through the avenue of one deep mindful breath anytime throughout our day. From my heart to yours, namaste.